I realized that what made it so easy for me to be a people pleaser for that long was because I wasn't even loyal. I wasn't respectful of my non-negotiables. I did not respect my own boundaries. So why would I expect people to respect that? People treat you the way you treat yourself. Just imagine if, as a lady, you don't have the ability to speak. How do you sell your value? Hey crystals, welcome or welcome back to the channel. And if you are new here, hi, I am Damsey and you are most welcome to this crystal amazing community where we talk all things lifestyle, beauty, mindset, and divine femininity. So today's video is a very special video and I do not want to beat around the bush. I want to get straight to it because this is to be the answer to one of the most asked questions from ladies who are trying to tap back into their divine feminine energy, ladies who are currently working on their femininity journey and trying to, bring out that side of themselves again. This is the main concern that always sits in their heart. And this concern is, how do I command respect and fear from people without losing my feminine essence? How do I defend myself in fights or in unpleasant situations without losing my feminine essence? How do I assert myself at work without losing my feminine essence? How do I go after what I want? How do I fight for my purpose or my mission without losing my feminine essence, or doing it without becoming like a man in the process? Very, very valid questions, very valid questions, and very wonderful questions. And I call it wonderful because I also went through the phase of asking myself the very same questions when I realized that, okay, this journey of femininity is something that I need to take, is something that I need. I need to understand what it means to exist in a feminine body in this three-dimensional realms. And I also had that fear, and that fear is legit. It is valid. So I hope that this message that I have put together for every lady asking this question in their hearts right now is going to give you the guide that you need in order to scale through this phase. Okay, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 feminine boundaries you must build if you are sensitive and easily hurt by people. One of the things about, trying to be a feminine woman again in this hyper masculine world, Jesus, what it means to be a feminine woman, right? Which is being calm, being collected, being patient, exercising wisdom, exercising, silence, all of these things, which signals more of a submissive character, which is one of the major characters of the feminine energy, right? So I explained in my video, submission is not, it's not a weakness. Let's say someone is trying to come at you with negative words. Don't bring yourself down to that person's level. It basically means you need to just stay calm. You need to, stay silent. Do not engage. And not engaging is a form of submission, is a form of surrendering. And that is a feminine quality. And that is a very powerful quality. We do not ever want to think it to be a weakness. But the reality is, the rest of the world don't see it that way. And that's fine. The rest of the world, perceive all these qualities that I've just mentioned, the patience, the wisdom, the calmness, the silence. They see it as a weakness. And what happens is that when people, especially the people who are already in the habit of hurting people, whether on purpose or not on purpose, whenever they sense people that seem not reactive to violence in that manner, whenever they see those people, that tends to trigger their predator instinct. And that is not a good thing. In today's video, we want to talk about how, even in your calmness and even in your silence, how you can still put up a boundary that says to people, do not cross, do not enter. How you can still command respect without speaking it, but your aura is building that boundary for you. Your aura is the one that is defending you. right? And another thing about this boundary is that boundaries are sometimes seen as more of a masculine thing, which actually makes sense. But remember what I said about the divine feminine energy. The divine feminine energy is not just feminine, okay? It's a perfect dance of the masculine and the feminine side of a lady, right? But with the feminine energy leading, with the feminine energy dominating in her body because she has a feminine body, right? So another thing about the divine feminine energy is because of its healthy and harmonious relationship with its masculine side, it also has a very firm boundary around her energy field. So when people see or sense that firm energy, they quickly or instantly get the signal that, okay, this is not someone that I can, mess around with, because she has boundaries. And every lady should have boundaries. So this is why I call this the 5 feminine boundaries. So these are not masculine boundaries. These are boundaries that still preserves your femininity. They are not the kind of boundaries that chase good men away from you, aside the unworthy men. They are also not the kind of boundary that makes you undesirable or unapproachable to high quality people. Trust me, high quality people have boundaries. And I believe from experience that they appreciate people that have boundaries of their own. So these are boundaries that protect you from people that are unworthy of your energy. These are boundaries that protect you from behaviors from your own self that are unworthy of the essence that you carry. In today's video, I will be sharing some advice on how I built a healthy feminine boundary for myself without losing my soft and water essence. At the end of this video, you will learn how to engage your masculine center of intelligence to build energetic boundaries through which your femininity can thrive in grace, beauty, and safety. For the sake of better understanding of this video, we're going to be classifying every person and every thought as energy. So it can either be good energy, which means it is on a higher frequency level on the scale of frequency. So the higher you go on the frequency scale is the closer you get to the range of divinity, which is the frequency that we want to attract, is the frequency that we want to embody. Or it can also be a low frequency, which in this case is a frequency of evil. This is the frequency of toxicity. This is also the frequency of negativity. And it is from this frequency that all forms of disease, all forms of negative strongholds and pain, this is the frequency that they all live in. For the sake of this video, we are going to have to classify every person and every thought as energy. So without any further ado, let's get straight to the point. So the first tip that I have for you guys is to master the art of strictly classifying every person or thought that meets your consciousness. To make it simpler, basically everybody that you meet and every thought that is being thrown at you, maybe by someone or by yourself. Where your attention goes is where your energy flows. And if you're like me and you've gotten to a phase or a stage in your spiritual journey where you understand just how expensive energy is, like you've gotten to a stage where you understand that your attention is one of the most prized things that you own, you would understand why this particular point is really important. Because guys, where your attention goes is where your energy flows. It is kind of like a marriage, because what you're basically doing is when you open up your energy field to someone or whatever beliefs that they throw at you, you begin to engage with that belief. It's like opening yourself up willingly to be possessed by someone's thoughts. Okay, so let me give an example. Let's say you're a lady, you're in a relationship where your boyfriend constantly calls you mean names. He constantly insults you. He constantly, downgrades you. And you having to hear these words, hear this kind of statements over and over again, you have opened up yourself, because those words are seeds. Words are energy, guys. Words are not just some letters. They have life. So now you have opened up your energy field for that word that was being spoken at you to come in and dwell inside of you. And now that it's dwelling inside of you, it goes to bed with you, it wakes up with you, it now becomes an extra baggage in your mind. Now, words are not terrible. Okay, it is okay to open up your field to good words, right? Because good words will help you grow, and we need good words to grow. But if you have opened yourself or you have subjected yourself to a lot of negative words, those words will equally live with you and they will equally affect how you see yourself, how you now speak to yourself. And even worse, it will start to affect how you see the world. Like I said, guys, it is like opening yourself up to possession, right? You're now being possessed by this energy. And it's not just with words, like even with people. I'm sure we've all gone through that phase where we've met people that, when they came into our lives never remained the same. It changed. And like when you sit down to think about, wow, how did I go from this person to this person? Like, how did I upgrade from this girl to this girl? Or how did I go from being this girl to this girl, right? When you sit down to think about this, most of the time, you don't even know when the change is actually taking place. The only time you sit down to really notice, to really ask questions, is when it has happened. And then you start wondering, how did I get here? How did I go from being one of the smartest girls in my class to being, the girl whose boyfriend is constantly insulting and beating her and abusing her? It's crazy, right? That's because people are energy. Words are energy. And when energy is around you, because energy is not something that you can see with the naked eye, we rarely ever notice when it's beginning to change us. But now you're not that kind of lady again. You're no longer the ignorant lady. You're no longer the normal girl. You are the awakened girl. And every awakened girl needs to understand this, that people and thoughts are energies. And if you want to build a fortified mentality, a fortified aura, an aura that protects you from anything that simply does not help you grow in any way, you need to learn. You need to teach your mind. You need to teach your senses to discern and put everyone that you meet and every thought that you meet in their place the moment they greet your consciousness. Ladies, you need to know yourself so well. You need to know where you want to be. You need to know the exact kind of energy that you want to embody so well that when you meet people or you meet thoughts or you meet energies that do not support you in that direction, you already have an inbuilt system that kind of counters that energy, puts that energy, classifies it in its own place, and then your body and everything about you knows that, okay, this is someone that I cannot allow into my inner circle. If you do this the right way, you don't even need to have that moment where you have to think and stress over, oh God, like, should I let this person in? Should I make this person a friend? Should I be close to this person or should I not? No. The moment you're seeing them, you would know. You would know that, okay, this person is not my person. It is a system that kind of works with your intuition. So in the religious fair, right, they call it discernment. So I have found that there is a science to it, right? It doesn't just happen. Like it's something that you need to want. It's something that you need to actively work on for it to work for you yourself so well, and you have prepared your body and your mind and your spirit so well that you've now developed your reflex inbuilt discernment system in such a way that every negative energy that comes to the field of your consciousness is being countered and put in its place before they get to the door of your inner circle. Now, your inner circle is where your core is where your core self is. It is like where your soul sits. So the people that you want to let into your inner circle, those are the people that can have the most effect in your life. So these are usually people that are very, very extremely close, right? But I've seen so many people that are so open to a point where they can't even really tell how they became best friends with someone. Like it's something that happens so quickly for them. And I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying it's wrong either. I'm just saying that when you've gotten to a level where you really understand, the effect that these little things can have in you, you wouldn't be so careless about letting just anyone that smiles at you or does nice things to you to just come in straight into your inner circle. Because your inner circle is where they can easily and sow a seed in you, and not everybody comes with a good seed. Not everyone comes with a divine seed, okay? So you just have to be careful. So the second tip that I have for you guys is to identify your relationship non-negotiables and stay loyal to them. Take it from someone who used to be a people pleaser. Do you want to go to this place? Yes. Do you have this? Yes. Okay, I need this. Yeah, what do you need? Yes, I have it. You can take it. Oh, this is my last one, but you can take it. I used to be the yes girl. I used to be the type to do things, nice things, give out an energy that I wasn't yet embodying. And I was also the kind of person that was too nice. And I'm saying too nice, right? Because there were times that I didn't want to be nice. There are times that I knew in my spirit that no, what this person is asking of me is not something that I want to do. It's not something that is good for me in my spirit. But what did I do? I said yes anyway. Why? Because I did not want to be on their bad side. I did not want to have their attention taken away from me. And I did not want to be alone. I wanted to feel among. I wanted to feel like a part of a clique. So yeah, I was that girl that was, saying yes to everyone that seemed nice to me. Long story short, I got burnt, and I've passed the phase of blaming it on them because it wasn't their fault. It was my fault because I did not have boundaries. I did not know myself, and I did not know my non-negotiables. Well, I take that back. I actually knew some of my non-negotiables. I knew some of the things that were not good for my soul and my spirit, but I wasn't loyal to them at all. I did not have that loyalty with myself. And because I didn't have that with myself, no one, like when I even think of the number of people that I actually broke my back for, and I went above and beyond and did things that was not really in line with my character. None of them are in my life today. That's how bad it is. So, like the fact that I sat down to think about the fact that, you know, I made all these investments, I gave all these things that I did not yet have to these people in order to keep them. And at the end of the day, I ended up losing them. It wasn't their fault. It's just a law, it's just a universal law. I guess it is a law of life. And I hope that if you're a young lady watching this, that you really understand this point, because I feel like this is a phase that a lot of young ladies go through. Now, I am grateful that I did not lose too much, right? But for some ladies, they don't come out of this phase the same. They don't come out of this phase and have the level of clarity that I have. Some ladies go through this phase and they lose themselves completely. They get damaged completely. So this is why I am giving this particular advice, and I think it is one of the most important out of the tips that I have in this video. You need to know your non-negotiables. And trust me, you actually know them. I feel it is easier to know them. Where it's more difficult is staying loyal to them. And you need to stay loyal to them if you're going to expect people to treat you with that same loyalty. And even with family members as well, you need to establish a boundary with family members, okay? Certain words that are being said to you, if you do not like it, respectfully let the person know. So this is knowing your non-negotiables. Some of my non-negotiables is you cannot speak negative words to me. I just won't take that. I will not be in your space. I will not let you remain in my space. So that is part of my non-negotiable. And if I tell that to someone and they still abuse it, I cut you off immediately. Now, here is where it gets tricky. These non-negotiables should not just apply to other people. It should also apply to yourself. it should also apply to yourself. I know we're ladies. We have moments when we scroll through our phones and we see other ladies like ourselves doing very well, or it seems like they're doing extremely well in life. And then you have that little moment when you start to say to yourself that, I wish I had what she had. Like, I mean, look at Jennifer, see how good her body looks. And look at me, look at my stomach, look at my leg, look at my face. It's so chubby, so fat, it's so out of shape. Look at this and look at that. And you start judging yourself. You also need to tell yourself, don't negotiate with yourself. Remind yourself that no, girl, we do not accept negative words. We do not accept demeaning words in this space. So, no, and you should not speak negatively about yourself. Because when you practice that with yourself, it is easier for you to do that with people. Like when I carefully studied my own situation, like my years of being a people pleaser, I realized that what made it so easy for me to be a people pleaser for that long was because I wasn't even loyal. I wasn't respectful of my non-negotiables. I did not respect my own boundaries. I did not respect that as well. So why would I expect people to respect that from me? You know, people treat you the way you treat yourself. I don't know how to explain the science, but just something about your aura. So that is the thing I love about aura. So your aura carries the truth of who you are. If you're someone who's struggling, if you're a girl who is confused about who she is, trust me, your aura is communicating that. And people who are sensitive, people who are really good at reading auras, they can tell. In fact, most people can tell because we're energetic beings. So most people can pick up on that signals. They can tell if you're the kind of girl that is insecure, if you're the kind of girl that they can mess with and get away with. So you cannot afford to go out in the world confused. You cannot afford to go out in the world sending the wrong message about yourself. So if you believe yourself to be a queen, you need to treat yourself as a queen. Let it be a part of your non-negotiables that from today onwards, because I believe myself to be a queen, I will no longer speak like a commoner. I will no longer cook my food like a commoner. I will treat myself the way a queen is treated. Now, this is actually a very funny story. So there is this habit, since living alone, there's usually this habit that we loners have, right? Like most people that live alone or live by themselves, right? We have this habit of probably doing things in a very average, very normal way. Let's say because you're cooking dinner, and because you're not expecting anyone, it's just you and the dinner, you're not really taking the time to cook it nicely. And after cooking it nicely, serving it in a nice plate, making sure your cutleries are clean, your cup is clean, you serve yourself in a good cup. So I used to have this habit of just being very ordinary. I have a collection of plates, right? Some really normal plates and some special plates. So I noticed that for a very long time since I've been living by myself, right? I've been using just one particular plate to eat. It's always that plate. It is always that plate. And the funny thing is, all of my plates are in the same place, right? But I keep using that particular plate. So one day, when I started to think about it, I was like, Esther, you call yourself a queen, right? Why do you keep eating on this particular not so special plate? Like a commoner, like a servant. When I realized that, I was like, well, I need to change my mentality, right? I cannot, say in my affirmation. That is why, for some of us, our affirmations do not work for us because you're just saying these words, but you're not putting it into action. So I kept saying, I am a queen, I am a queen, but I wasn't putting it into action. I wasn't treating myself like a queen. There were times that I would even, eat with that plate and maybe I'm a bit busy in the moment and I could not wash it immediately. And let's say, like in the next 1 hour, I feel like fetching more food for myself. I still carry that same plate that I ate with without washing it, and I just put it. Then what do I tell myself in my head? I'm like, oh, it's just I'm living alone. Like nobody can see it. It got to a point that it became so normal to me. until I had to sit myself down and I had to tell myself, from today, we're not eating from a dirty plate. From today, if I'm cooking new soup or new food, I will always serve myself in my best plate. And I'm never eating in a dirty plate anymore. Even if I don't have time to do my dishes right, I am going to keep taking a clean plate each time I want to serve my food. I will keep using a clean plate, even if they end up being like 20 plates in the dishes. I will wash them and I will do it all over again. So I had to tell myself that. And before you know, your aura starts to communicate that energy to people that meet you. So you have to be very, very careful of the small things. So it is not enough to just know your non-negotiables. You need to keep telling it to yourself. You need to keep rehearsing it. In fact, I would argue that don't even focus on telling people. Focus on learning and cultivating that habit within yourself. It has a way of showing, it has a way of communicating itself to other people that you meet. Trust me, it does. So, the most important person that needs to be the receiver of this particular advice is you. So, it's not other people, it's you. So, you're the one who needs to figure out what your non negotiables are. And you are the one who needs to tell yourself and teach yourself until yourself learns your non negotiables and begin to honor them. And that is how you stay loyal to your non negotiables. When you embody that loyalty, it shows in your aura, it shows in how you carry yourself. What really changed my perspective on this is that there's this Chinese proverb that I read some time ago. It says something like, never speak negatively to yourself because you have a warrior inside of you. So you have a warrior inside of you, and this warrior hears everything that you say. It acts on the things that you say. And this is why you should never accept bad behavior within yourself. So that quote really brought a great perspective to me, right? I love when simple, basic things are being used to explain complex concepts, right? Because I mean, it doesn't make sense to the common person. They're like a warrior inside of me. That doesn't make sense. Okay, all this motivational speaker, they've come again. No, that is just how it is. Honestly, if you look at it, if you sit down and really take a look at your life, you would realize that your life has been the way you treat yourself. So ever since I learned that quote, ever since I found that quote, it really changed my perspective on how I treat myself. So before I used to think that, okay, if I'm trying to change, all I have to do is put on the character when I walk out of my house, when I'm outside of my house. But when I read that quote, I understood now that no, the main person that I need to show up for is not even the people outside of my door. It is the person that lives with me. It is the warrior that lives inside of me. The person that, listens to the words that I say and she acts up on those words. That is your spirit. That is where your energy, your vibrations is emanating from. So you need to be careful the things that you do in front of your spirit, if that makes any sense. Oh, this point is too long. So yeah. So the third advice that I have for you guys is to do more things that improves your self-esteem and your sense of individual security. One of the strongest form of boundaries that you can ever set as a divine feminine woman is the code that you live by. Just imagine if as a lady you don't have the ability to speak. How do you sell your value? You can sell your value by how you carry yourself, how you treat yourself, how you behave. Why? Because you're a woman. The world will look at you, people will look at you, and it is how you behave, it is how you carry yourself that people treat you. That is how they categorize you. So just imagine you had to go through this world unable to speak. What would you do? You would do and you would live the exact same way you want people to treat you. Okay? So be the lady that sticks to her word. If you want to attract people that, say something to you or give you assurances and stick to it, you need to be that kind of lady first. So if you want people that will take care of you and buy you gifts, you need to be that kind of lady first. So don't be the kind of lady that sits in her high throne and expects people to serve her first. You need to serve yourself first. You need to teach people by how you carry yourself, how they should treat you. But remember, the key word here is to always do it respectfully if you're telling them. But more than telling them, the second place where you have a lot of power as a lady is how you live. It's just simply how you exist, right? It is how you carry yourself. So you must keep your own word to yourself. You must always stay true to your own words. Practice your self-care, practice and build self-discipline. Respect your dreams, work on them. Don't just talk about them. Don't just tell people about them. Attempt to go after them. Do what you say you will do, like the queen that you are. You must honor your words. Honor your own words, right? Your words are royalty. So when you're giving it out in front of people, you must learn to honor it before others can respect it and respect you. Work on your mental fitness and take care of your body. That aura of self care, it always oozes out of you wherever you go. So do not ever, ever downplay the importance of this point. Treat yourself how you'd like others to treat you because they learn from you how they can treat you.